Are we really in recession? No, we're not, but hear me out. If you're waiting for the dip in stock market or downfall of GDP, you probably won't get it on this one again. Stock market is a reliable indicator of recession and it's not going lower either. And in fact, it's the highest it's ever been. News says half of the nation is a recession and the other half operating at dissipating capacity. There is really no official definition of recession. It's whatever you decide it to be. But now, technically, agreeable term is two consecutive negative GDP growth. It's when outputs or productions are drastically cut because there is unexpected external shock in the economy. So companies will cut back and productions slumps because they're now in a surviving mode. This recession is interesting because we are not technically in one, or the production isn't slowed nor lagging, but firms act like they're in recessionary mode. So it's like pseudo recession. Will we have one anytime soon? My answer is no. What's unique about this fake recession is that external shock that is causing a slowdown is particularly from a political risk. So in private sectors, performance has been good, meaning the demand has been steady, but corporate investment and spending have been like waking up from a bad dream. In previous recession we had, the last one which was COVID triggered, the duration lasted 2 months. The one before that was the Great Financial Crisis, triggered by corporate greed, really lasted nearly 2 years. But this brace yourself was 17 years ago. In the end, economic indicators are lagging indicators, which means shit happened already, and we stepped on it. We find out after we run around entire house with it. For the first time in the spectrum of American corporate history, we have an era where firms are factoring in political uncertainty into their decision. What about employment market? If the economy is okay, what's wrong with employment? It's the budget freeze. Employers are just as scared too. We hear recent grads or Gen Z's trouble in being hired no matter how strong their resumes are. There's global fear AI will replace all tech jobs and office jobs. But in the views of economists, that's really not going to be the case. It's also my speculation, because labor is a big factor in production. We might guesstimate entry-level jobs are no longer required, but entry-level candidates are just as equipped and prepared to do whatever now. When we look at history, it's true that new technology, when it's introduced, previous old one is eradicated, just like how cars eliminated need for horses, more recently how smartphone wiped out landlines, cameras. It's the nature of technology. There's a structural shift in the economy due to AI, but that's not really why private sectors aren't hiring. And guess who's having the hardest penny right now? Computer science majors. Gen Z is having a hard time getting employed left and right because firms stop spending and cutting spending. It's just uncertainty about this future. My argument in firms against AI boom logic that it will replace everything is that okay, if the evolution in AI was the next big thing, it should propel booms in productivity and growth, more specifically total factor productivity, while leaving labor parts alone. However, we're in a transitional period. Ultimately, post GFC, Federal Reserve have been so good at keeping track of the economy through monetary policy, which is a combination of mass money printing and interest rate maneuvers. They figured out, oh, demand is slowing down, print more money. Oh, still slowing down, lower interest rates. And guess what? So if recession was as predictable as everyday economists like you and me and YouTubers predicted, it can be avoided through monetary policies. This pseudo recession is special because otherwise we could have boosted growth through AI evolution instead we are fighting enemy within. So what can we do to prevent this or save us from this atrocity? Yes, this AI technology is new, but creative destruction is never new. This is a transitional period. There's nothing much can be done at the moment and wait until this thing pans out. There's new industry that will emerge. Changes always suck, but innovation is what also fuels the economic growth. If it's one person's problem, it's nobody's problem, but if everybody's having the same problem, we're facing the change.